What is going on? What is going on, my nieces and nephews? Welcome to another episode of Fun Uncle. Thank you for joining me. That's right, your neighborhood LADZ City Fun Uncle, that's me, is talking about cryptocurrency, blockchain, and NFT news. And in today's episode, we are talking about the elephant in the room. That's right, buying NFTs, the freaking phrase of the year. How to buy NFTs. If that sounds good to you, then stay tuned for the rest of this episode. You best believe it, my nieces and nephews. NFTs are popping off, and you can see evidence of that case right here on Google Trends. NFTs are reaching new all-time highs as far as their searches are concerned. This is the highest, the most people have searched this term, period. This year, it's happening right now. Same for buying NFTs. It is piquing a lot of people's interests out there in the space. And so it's something to start taking seriously. And what really sparked my interest about all of this, if you look down here, District of Columbia are searching it the most out of any other state. So what that tells me is that all the lawmakers in Washington, D.C. are trying to figure it out, wrap their mind around it, try to stake their claim to this space before it seriously, pops off into absolute insane supersonic mode. So let's just first start, before we can get into buying NFTs, what are they? Non-fungible tokens. What is this? Okay, well, let's just look at some of the big daddies in the space. We got Bored Ape Yacht Club. You're reading that right. 769 ETH for the last sale price, but not to be overshadowed by CryptoPunks. This big daddy right here was sold for, you're reading that right, 124,457 Ethereum for this image right here. And for those mathematic aficionados in the audience today, you will know that that is $500 million. So if you take that number and multiply it by the current price of ETH, which is about 4,100, something like that, you will see a number that is 500 million doll hairs US currency for one of these images. And I know a lot of those naysayers out there are like, hey, what's the point? I could just right-click save this JPEG and Bob's your Uncle Jan's your aunt, I've got this image, why pay all that money for it? Well, the answer to that is, yes, you can. Sure, you totally can. But you won't be able to sell it for these prices, and you won't be able to pull out a loan on it, and you won't be able to stake your claim to the metaverse with it. And that is why NFTs exist, is because they represent a serial number on the blockchain. They are already within the ecosystem. They are already Web3 and metaverse compatible. Currently, we're in the Web 2 era, which means it's the Wild West. There are no sheriffs out there, monitoring the bank. There are trains being robbed, wallets are being stolen, and there really are no repercussions for people who right-click save these JPEGs. And that's why it's kind of hard to sell people on it, because we're in the Web 2 era right now. But for those, free thinkers, forward-minded people are like, oh, wait. There is a tsunami coming at us. It's called Web 3, and we will all be playing on that space. No one plays in Web 1 anymore, do they? Huh? Do you know anyone still using Web 1? Well, fast forward 10, 20 years from now, there won't be anyone using Web 2. We will all be using Web 3, which is a verifiable, decentralized internet space where NFTs will be the new currency, for a lack of a better phrase. And when you look at these, you got to say to yourself, well, Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, which of these tokens will be the holographic Charizard or the Black Lotus? Which one will be the collectible item we are all going to want this holiday season and holiday seasons moving forward? Which of these are the Beanie Babies? We don't know. And that's why it's a little bit of just stake your claim in what's the most popular, try to diversify, and remember that it's more than just images. This is just a plethora of motion. There's music, there's video, there's 3D, there's 2D, there's metaverse gaming, there's all sorts of stuff. So I want to then step into, where can we get these bad boys? Where can we purchase these? Well, the big daddy player is called Opensea, and that's what you're looking at right here. Opensea, the reason it's so popular is it pushes off the minting or the gas fee until a purchase is actually made. So what that means is In previous iterations of the NFT marketplace, you would have to pay what's called a gas fee or a minting fee to get this image on the blockchain. That can be like $100 sometimes, depending on when you're trying to gas it on and on which blockchain you're trying to mint it. And hey, by the way, Nifty Q Llama, thanks for showing up in the chat. Just proof this isn't pre-recorded. Thanks for being here. Our tribe, thanks. I just want to say hi to my chat while they're here. You guys are the best. Thanks for showing up. But back into the business here. This is the Big Daddy because it pushes off the minting until a sale actually takes place. That's a win-win in that you as a content creator don't have to pay the minting fee up front. Simultaneously, it allows Opensea to open its doors to all kinds of content creators without some kind of significant barrier of entry. Next up, we have Rarible. Now, this is what separates this from Opensea is it has smart contract capabilities within it. What the basically an oversimplification of it is it rewards your NFT holders with maybe currency or additional NFTs if they continue to hold these NFTs for a long period of time. The next one I've got up here is crypto.com. You may have seen some of their primetime football commercials. They've renamed a stadium. These boys are not playing around. They are bringing fisticuffs to the dance floor, and they are swinging, for that #1 spot. You can go to their websites, crypto.com, and you can buy a select number of these NFTs here on their site. So another one worth considering. They're a big player in town, and I think a site that will stand the test of time. They will still be around after the pending crypto winter. I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon. So crypto.com is another one I would keep my eye on if you want to have your finger on the pulse. And the other one, we're all waiting with bated breath for Coinbase to launch their NFT marketplace. They're saying it could be even bigger than its multi-billion-dollar cryptocurrency business. The reason I'm so excited about this marketplace opening up is that they will allow you to buy NFTs with a credit card. Just straight hard credit card cash, right out of your bank into the NFTs. And I think that's a huge step forward because right now there's a significant barrier to entry in buying these bad boys. Am I right, people in the chat? Right, Llama? I'm glad you're here too. Thanks for showing up. You're the best. Thank you so much for being here, bud. The real barrier to entry is you cannot buy them with a credit card. You cannot buy them directly from your bank. Which is why I'm generally bullish on the space overall, is because we have so much more infrastructure to be built in the space before it is more user-friendly to a broader audience, which kind of excites me. This is a time to stake your claim to the NFT space before it gets fully commercialized and fully marketed to the world. There's still a lot of barriers to entry, and it's rather complicated to get into the NFT space, which is why I'm trying to stake as much claim as I possibly can, and you should too, my fellow viewers. But right now, the barrier to entry is you need to get what is called a MetaMask wallet. It is a digital wallet that you can put into your browser that allows you to put in Ethereum, Polygon, Solana, whatever your coin of choice is. And if you do not have that coin, it will make the exchange for you. And so what's going to say? NG allows credit card purchases. Which one is that? Not going to lie. What's NG? Nifty Gateway. That's what you're saying. Okay, Nifty Gateway allows credit card purchases. Okay, that's huge. That's a huge piece of alpha if you're a fun uncle. Thank you, chat, for letting me know about that mod grinder. I'd love to go. I'll go for a grinder sandwich right about now. You're making me hungry with that name. Or is that Grinder the dating app? You let me know in the comments down below, friends. There's also the Roll Wallet. These are two of the most popular places to place your cryptocurrencies, exchange it for what is required, and then you can pair that with your Opensea website and start shopping. Shop till you drop, my friends and family. The problem with Nifty Gateway is I don't think it has the same quantity of choices, right? Like you can't buy a CryptoPunk or a Bored Ape on the Nifty Gateway as far as I'm concerned. It's only what NFTs are on that site. There's a lot of silos to the NFT space where we're kind of waiting for that Web3 to shake hands with everybody, start playing nice so there's interoperability across gaming, across the exchanges and marketplaces, across the metaverses, across social media, and really that's Web3. We're waiting for Web3 to shake hands, to play nice, to give us the platform to build what will be the future Facebook, the future Instagram, the future Twitter of Web3. And I believe firmly that there's some brilliant Generation Z kids in their parents' garage right now figuring it out, and those are the people I will be playing with. What are we saying here, Asmodai? Looking at parallel NFTs on FTX and the NFT marketplace. Yeah, dude. This is why I'm just bullish on the space, is because we don't know who the winners are going to be. You know, we don't know what regulation is going to say what. We don't know who, where, when, and why. I'm just looking for holographic Charizards out here. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm dating myself a little bit, showing my age. I'm talking about holographic Charizards over here. But guys, there's more to these NFTs than just a collectible piece of art. You know, they're more than just Beanie Babies or holographic Charizards. Okay, there are ways to earn income, passive income from these NFTs. For example, speaking of smart contracts, there are coins associated with these NFTs where you can just skip the NFT process and buy some of these coins to stake your claim in the space. We've got Wax is one, CPAN is another one, CryptoBlades, and we got SureCoin. These are the ones they're repping on this website, cryptonews.net. But if we want to look at all of them, you know, CoinMarketCap's got a list of all of the NFT/metaverse coins. Decentraland is a metaverse coin. Axie Infinity is an NFT gaming coin. Sandbox is back in the metaverse, so on and so forth. There's Wax, the one mentioned in the crypto.net website. But that's what I'm saying here is there's more than meets the eye to these images. You know, for those of you right-click saving these bad boys, you're missing out on the utility of them. There is income by way of coins or additional NFTs that are airdropped to long-term holders. Right here we have a website, 5 ways to earn passive income on your NFTs. So what are they? We talked about that already. You can rent them out. Now, this is a fun conversation I was having with my main dude, Nifty Q, on the NFT live show on Friday. If you missed that, you can check it on the website down below. But we were talking about how, what if there was an Airbnb for NFTs, the metaverse space? And the more I think about it, I'm like, you know what? There's some serious legs there, because if you want to buy a plot of land in Decentralandia or the Sandbox, it's going to cost you tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars just to get a plot of land. And that's not to mention, you know, building out whatever house, home, condo, boat, etc. you want to put in that space. And so what I thought was brilliant, Nifty Q brought up, was like, hey, what if we Airbnb'd it out? You know, like, we have a plot of land, we build out the infrastructure, the housing, whatever it is, the dance floor, whatever you want there, and then you can, on a daily or weekly rate, rent it out to somebody, you know, if they want to host a metaverse party, a metaverse company retreat. You name it, the sky is almost the limit on these things, right? And I was like, oh, that's brilliant. You know, instead of having to pay all that upfront, you know, all the cost of actually buying the land and building it out, I could just borrow it for a day or 2 days. You know, take a vacation in the metaverse to do something, you know, with people from around the world, to host a gallery of art, the NFTs that I'm trying to sell, et cetera, et cetera. I was reminded of a church in one of the bigger cities near where I live. And it was a church right downtown, and a large real estate company approached them and said, hey, we'll pay you $80 million for the land, because they planned on building a 60-story skyscraper where that plot used to be. And the church was like, well, that's a no-brainer. We could build 20 churches for $80 million. You know, like, that's a no-brainer. And the parallel I'm trying to make here between those stories is that stake your claim to the metaverse, you know? Like, buy a plot of land, wait it out, maybe just have a church there, something simple, you know, a little cottage or whatever, and then just wait for these massive multi-billion-dollar conglomerates to come by and be like, hey, we've got a better use case for this land. We're going to make an offer you can't refuse. And that makes my mouth water when I think about it. You know, hey, Crypto Buffalo, thanks for coming out. This old brain here can't buy hats to fit on this nugget. But there's more to it, guys. We got NFT royalties. You can stake your NFTs, provide liquidity, pull out a loan based on your NFTs. So there's just a lot here, okay? There's more than just an image that you can right-click save. There's all kinds of utility in the space, and I am just long-term bullish on NFTs. I think this coming year is going to be a huge supersonic boom forward for the space. I think people are just starting to catch on, and the evidence, the proof in the pudding, is the Google Trends. We are hitting new all-time highs in the space. People are searching for them, trying to figure it out, trying to wrap their mind around it. Most importantly, trying to stake their claim to the space. What do we got? Asmodai, what are you talking about? Utility is key. Utility is key. Honestly, I think that we're now past just the collectible image side of things. We want more use cases than just a pretty picture, right? Beauty is common. That old phrase, what else are you providing? Are you just a pretty face, or can you work when the apocalypse comes? Can you filter water for us? What else can you do? What utility can you provide? I'm gonna be a blacksmith when zombies come through. I'm just making horseshoes and swords and stuff like that. That's my use case. I'm a big burly man just pushing meat down the factory floor. But that's it for my main theme today. I think it's time to dump on into the news. You best believe I got some news stories today. First off, dumb money. Investing in collectibles has a long-drawn flee for spenders. So what they're talking about here is we are collectors. We are a collectible civilization. We like to collect wines. We like to collect Pokemon cards. You name it. What's that old show, Antiques Roadshow? People just pulling out old rugs and watches and finding out they're worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. I think the same thing's going to happen with the NFT space. People are going to go, wow, you have a CryptoPunk? You kidding me? You still have a CryptoPunk? That was like 40 years ago. No way you still got that. So whenever people get their computers thrown in the garbage, or whole networks get taken down for security liabilities or whatever, we're going to see who can survive multiple crypto winters, who can survive multiple 90% drops in price. Those will be the long-term winners. And I've always said that, if you're on the Titanic, and you want to find a lifeboat, the only way to find that lifeboat is by being on the Titanic. So you have to start playing in the space. You have to be aboard the Titanic to know where people are seeking refuge, right? So you can't just wait on the sidelines and be like, people will put me on a raft whenever it's time to get put on a raft. No, you have to find your raft and you have to get on it, all right? You got to get on that raft. Have I lost everybody yet? Anyways, let's jump back into the news. DraftKings signs up real NFL players to use in gamified NFT collections. Again, this is just big business, trying to stake their claim to the space. I'm also reminded of cell services. When Singular Wireless wanted to make a cell company, they had to buy, frequencies in the radio spectrum in order to even start a business, right? Because all the radio frequencies have been bought up, and they need to have their own frequencies so they're not conflicting with AT&T or Verizon or Sprint or the U.S. military. They need their own space to operate in. And so in this scarce digital world, even large players like the NFL are like, we better stake a claim to this before someone else does. You know what I'm saying, Llama? Jesus ain't going to save you here. There ain't no Jesus here. It is only crypto gods. The metaverse will bring unbridled evolution to NFTs. That's right. NFTs will be the verified assets within the metaverse. Your clothing, your artwork, your houses, the land you're living in or renting out, will be some kind of NFT on the blockchain space. I'm just overall bullish, just generally, and it's all about diversifying. Don't put all your eggs into one basket, but remember, there are limited, spots at the table. So metaverse space might be the go-to, honestly. Most meetings will take place in the metaverse within 3 years, Bill Gates says on fortune.com. You know what, Bill Gates? I agree with you, and that brings me back to my Airbnb conversation with Nifty Q. Imagine you want to do a company retreat, you're going to have to rent out a space in the metaverse, one of those big old plots, so that all 100 or 200 members of your organization can come remotely and interact with each other in the metaverse, sit at a conference table, actually discuss through future plans. I think that, that COVID really pushed us into this remote workflow, and the metaverse will help push us into the next generation of that remote workflow. Just exciting time, man. Just generally super exciting time in the space. Forget gift cards. How to give the gift of crypto by someone. Well, you're really going to thank that uncle or aunt who's buying you an NFT. Yeesh, you got a rich uncle or aunt buying you NFTs and cryptocurrencies. But I agree. That's what's happening right now at the end of the year is people have money to spend. They're trying to make the most of their Christmas bonus. And why buy another iPod? Why buy another computer or Xbox when you could just buy some of these NFT assets, some of these digital assets that will retain their value for a very, very long time. So just generally speaking, I'm super bullish on the space. NFTs are the future. I say if you can't afford NFTs, then start making them. I was just talking to a buddy of mine who's a firefighter. And I said, what you need to do is those firefighter calendars you make every year to raise money, coin that as an NFT. Literally, all you firefighters, take off your tops, take a sexy photo in front of the truck, and I'll help you mint those on the blockchain. You will make far more money in your fundraising scheme moving forward. And I think they're taking it seriously. This is a conversation I just had the other day, and I think they're going to start taking their pants off and taking some photos for their future sexy firefighter NFT space. But the real conversation I'm having there is back in the 90s, if someone said to you, oh, that firefighters are going to have a website, that florists are going to have websites, you would have laughed at that. You're like, are you kidding me? A boutique florist on the corner is going to have their own website? Computers can barely fit inside of a room or a car. What are you talking about? There's no way that mom and pops and churches and stuff like that are going to have websites. Well, fast forward 20, 30 years, everybody's got a website. Everybody's got a website. Same thing's going to happen with NFTs. The ticket to the football game is going to be an NFT. Your airplane ticket is going to be an NFT. I could even imagine in a really crazy world that I had to get tickets to prom. Whenever I was in high school, I had to buy a ticket. And then when I showed up to prom, I had to actually show them that I had a ticket to go into prom. And I'm like, what if that was an NFT? What if that was just a QR code on our cell phone or something like that, or our smartwatches, or embedded into our smart eyeball or whatever. When singularity comes around and we become one with the machine. I keep having fun ideas. I keep thinking about it. But there's so much potential. And again, I'm really hoping that there's some brilliant Gen Z kids in the garage figuring it out right now. Hey, Easy Crypto, thank you for showing up, man. You were a world traveler. You were all over the place right now, just continent hopping. You're like James Bond, Easy. You're the James Bond of NFTs, man. Take that as a compliment because he's a sexy man. He's one of the few people who get sexualized in Hollywood, and so you are our sexualized NFT mastermind traveling the world. Where are you now? Colombia, Mexico City, Nicaragua. Where are you at? Let me know in the chat. And guys, make sure to follow Easy on his world travels. He's the Anthony Bourdain. That's it. You're the Anthony Bourdain of the NFT space. Hey, but enough of the news. We're going to jump into the LADZ City Lounge. Kick up your feet. You are hanging out with your neighborhood fun uncle in the LADZ City Lounge. Join me, guys. It's way down and deep in the heart of LADZ City, past the railroad tracks, underneath the bowling alley. You're going to find the LADZ City Lounge. With me, I'm kicking it up. I'm talking about all things LADZ City. We got a lot of my fellow lads in the chat right now. Thank you. Thank you. Truly, I appreciate being a part of this community. Honestly, I feel the love every single day. Y'all keep showing up, not only here in the chat, but in the Discord, etc. You all play a really significant role in my life. So thanks for inviting me, this old uncle, to the dinner table. Thanks for letting me be a part of the family. Everyone's got a quirky uncle hanging out, and that is me, your LADZ City fun uncle. But what I like to talk about during the LADZ City Lounge space is all things LADZ City. So obviously, you know about the YouTube page. If you're watching this, please click subscribe. There's all kinds of content on a regular basis. We are talking about alpha in the NFT and blockchain space that you don't want to miss out on. We are catching the waves before the tsunami hits land, and you're going to want to know about this alpha on a regular basis. So subscribe, click the bell notifications, etc., etc. But that's not all. There is the Discord. This is the real meat and potatoes. You want to be a part of this Discord. because there's just awesome alpha being dropped on a regular basis here in the Discord, and just people fun participating on a regular basis, shucking and jiving, laughing, shooting the S, having a good time, hyping people up. I remember when I first joined the space, I would say, hey, I'm interested in buying this coin, and I was immediately hit with positive, influential people saying, no, you actually want to buy this coin. And I've made significant returns just taking the advice of my fellow lads here in LADZ City. So thank you so much for having me in the space. And I also would encourage those of you watching who aren't a part of the Discord to hop on in. It's a really cool space. It's just fun. I love checking the notifications and catching up on the fun, activities that happen throughout the week. But most importantly is I like to go through the Discord on a weekly basis and pick out one person who has been one of the most active, fun, influential people in the space, who is always showing up for events, who is always encouraging people and dropping useful pieces of alpha in the chat on a regular basis. And I like to pick a person, give them a shout out. I'll airdrop them some tokens in the Discord. And this week's winner is Maria Verde. Thank you. I think it's actually a long time coming. Honestly, I should have given you this award a long time ago. You are participating regularly, constantly, more than most, and I really want to thank you for being such a fun, participant in the space. So Maria Verde, you can check her out. Actually, Draws by MV. Check out her Opensea. Hit her up on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you for being a part of the space. Thanks for being fun. Thanks for encouraging people on a regular basis and dropping alpha and just being you. And also, if you want to be the LADZ City Lad of the Week, do what Maria Verde is doing. Follow what she's doing. Contribute to the space the same way she is. Show up to events, be talking in all the chats, dropping alpha, being encouraging. That is the way to be selected as the LADZ City Lad of the Week. And speaking of which, let's check out the YouTube chat. How you guys doing? Okay, Easy, you're back. You're back in Cali for a couple weeks, then Costa Rica. My man, look at you, you tropical jet setter, you. Yep, whoop whoop llama. Thank you for being here. Oh, you want to play some music in the lounge? Absolutely. I forgot to turn up the beats a little bit, for you. Still working on this live aspect of the show. This will be my second live show on the space, so thanks for bearing with me as I'm figuring it all out. We got some music playing for you. You like the dope music? Dope art, an amazing writer too. Yeah, Maria Verde. Yeah, what a dope human being, just generally speaking. I'm gonna check real quick. Am I playing music? Okay, that's nice. That's a nice little light beat in the background for the LADZ City Lounge. Also, let me know down in the comments below what you liked, what you disliked, what you would like to see more of on this show. I keep building out as I go, and I want to make it a better space for everybody else, I want to cater it to my fellow lads as much as possible. And thanks again for showing up, everybody. Thank you. Oh, I remember what I wanted to share. I have a video segment from NFT Live I wanted to share with you. And it looks a little something like this. The other day say, these are copyright lawsuits that are coming down the pipe, so the whole space is screwed. And I said, no, just those individual projects that have, are violating copyright law. Only those are in trouble. I'm not gonna, Opensea. I'm bullish on Opensea. Like, that's still going to be there stronger than ever. They'll just ban all the copyright infringements and continue doing what they're doing. And I think that's what a lot of those boomer right-click savers think is, oh, well, there's this one problem. There's this one chink in the armor, so the whole thing's a house of cards. But nah, man. I thought that was cool just to promote the show. We have a new editor in the space who's helping to cut down things. I want to make sure we're using those all over the place. But yeah, I was hosting this episode, last week's episode of NFT Live, helping out for my main man, Crypto Buffalo, who's on vacation, much deserved winter vacation. Catching some sunshine, I hope, my dude. But hey, Gabriel, tried to join the Discord, but invite was expired. Any chance you could update it? I'll send that to you in the chat once I have a free hand. Absolutely. If one of you want to help Gabriel get a part of the community, you're missing out, man. Please Join us today. Hit me up in the DMs. I would love to chat with y'all. But back to that segment, that clip there, just talking about how people are looking for issues. You know, everyone wants to avoid something because they have one singular fear about the space. They're like, oh, well, the copyrights issues, or people could just right-click save. Why spend all this money? We're going to be easily stolen. And your fears are valid. You currently have valid fears. However, we change. The human species and regulation changes constantly, and all of these fears that you have now will be things we laugh about later. And I think that avoiding something based purely on fear means you're limiting yourself in your overall growth as a person. And NFTs are one of those same things where you want to participate. There are more advantages to participating than there are to avoiding something. What's that old Wayne Gretzky's quote? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Well, I think you're missing out on 100% of your opportunities when you just avoid NFTs. I think this is the Web3 future is coming in hot. And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it in my mind grapes, there's a better way to go about this, Gabriel. If you look at my screen here, for everyone else watching, if you want to join the community, type in LADZ City into your URL, into your browser of choice. That'll take you to the LADZ City terminal, and you will see a link here for the Discord. So if you want to join the Discord, click this link. It'll automatically shuck and jive your way right into it. So this is just an easy way for you to do it. Sorry I didn't think about that sooner. I was too busy. I was in the zone talking about content. I was thinking clearly. Let me turn the music back up too. The other thing, the last piece of information I wanted to share with y'all was all of the world's money supply. I just saw this morning, and I was like, well, this also makes me super excited on the space, is all of the world's money markets in one visualization. So if we scroll down here, this is $100 billion. That little square. So there's silver, right? And I know a lot of you might have seen this already, but it's just fun to relive this a little bit. That's cryptocurrency. This is our military. This is the worldwide military spending, right? The U.S. budget deficit, and that's of last year. That's not including the messes we've made in this most recent year. Coins and banknotes. So now we're really starting to eclipse Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in a serious way. The Fed's balance sheet, and again, that's just this. That's last year. That's not including this year. That's last year. Oh boy. Billionaires, worldwide billionaires, that's how much money they have. Gold, okay. Fortune 500, look at all those blocks. The stock markets, money supply, global debt. I mean, whoa. Look at all that global debt. We got global real estate, sensory overload, commercial, agricultural. We got global wealth. They just keep getting bigger. Look at all that global wealth. Whoa. Derivatives. That's money on the back of money on the back of money over here. Yeesh. Look at all that derivative. Look at this. And remember, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency is just one of these squares. And the conversation now is these money markets, these derivatives, these large banks and exchanges and Fortune 100 companies are all going to need to diversify their balance sheets. And the rule of thumb right now is to have 5% of an asset class. So 5% of gold and 5% of the S&P 500, And what if it becomes the norm that these companies put 5% of their balance sheet in Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies? Again, this is just a fantastical idea, but let's play with it a little bit. I'm not saying 100% of their balance sheet. I'm just saying 5% of their balance sheet. And if they were to do that, that could push Bitcoin into the $1 million per coin price range. If they just did 5%. Now, to be a little bit more realistic about it, it's not all going to go into Bitcoin. So I see these companies doing 5% of their balance sheet in crypto, but it won't be all into Bitcoin. They'll get a little bit of Ethereum, a little bit of Cardano, a little bit of Polygon, or what coins end up making. I know we have a lot of naysayers about Cardano right now. It does have a pretty high spot in the coin market list, but it hasn't done anything recently, and it's getting passed by a couple other coins like Solana and Terra Luna. And so we don't really know, who's going to be the winner and who's going to be a loser. But the real conversation I'm having is 5% of all of these companies into the crypto space in general, right, will push all coins into insane new all-time highs. And just excited. Just makes me really bullish on the space in general. Yeah, Llama. So you're going to get Sandbox is your route to be a millionaire, huh? Dude, Llama, did you read my mind? Were we were we on the same wavelengths here? 5%, yeah, and it could be 10%, honestly, and it could replace some of our money management processes. I remember reading that El Salvador adopting Bitcoin cost Western Union $400 million a year, and that's insane. That just one money transfer company, and just one country making one change in its financial, institution is costing $400 million. And so you can just see the house of cards in all of these old-timey financial institutions start to crumble when a country decides, it's actually easier and more cost-effective and more secure if we just do it in Bitcoin. So bye-bye Western Union, bye-bye Money Tree. And metaverses, yeah, that is digital real estate. That is a scarce resource, and you cannot replace it. It's going to take a supercomputer to try, and even then, once quantum computers exist, these metaverse spaces will then have a quantum computer regulating it. So it's not like there's going to be only one quantum computer that's going to hack everything. I think we will have an even distribution of quantum computers helping to regulate and police the space. And so I think that the digital revolution has just so many different facets of growth left in it. Like imagine what we can do when we have quantum computers regulating this space, or even crazy enough, a quantum computer in the palm of your hand in your iPhone 58 or 69. It's going to be the iPhone 69 the more I think about it, or the Android 420. It's going to have a quantum computer built into it, and that will be regulating this sharded, decentralized Web3 space that awaits us. So I'm just trying to paint a really complex picture for everyone here using, single brush strokes, but there's a huge, massive mosaic that lays in front of us that's frothy with money, potential money for you. It's going to be the largest distribution of wealth we've ever seen in human history. And why wait? Jump on in. Prices are down right now, everybody. I mean, let's pull up the charts right now. I got them always on the ready. Prices are down. We are sitting at monthly lows right now. We are down from all-time highs significantly, and it's a great time to buy. I mean, you could argue, yeah, it's going to dip. It could potentially dip a little bit further, but that's why we have the strategy of daily cost averaging. Don't buy your whole nut right now, okay? You squirrels and you chipmunks out there buying nuts. I say daily cost average, buy a little bit now, buy a little bit next week, buy a little bit next month. Daily cost average your position into these coins that if you really just zoom out, we're up. We're up. Just generally, period. We're up, and they will keep going up and up. They might have some dips, but those will be followed by even higher highs in the future. This is not a month game. This is not a week game. This is a yearly and a decade game. You're playing for the long term, and that's why you want to daily cost average your position in. It could be down tomorrow, and it could be higher tomorrow. You just want to make sure you got some skin, teeth in the game, because it's not going away. Regulators in Congress spent all day just praising it and talking about how it's an unstoppable force and how we're behind the curve and how the U.S. government needs to make changes for mass adoption in this space. There's nothing we can do to stop it, and we're behind the curve. I'm talking about America when I say we, and we should be making some changes to allow for this new financial institution to participate in our money markets. Let it open up to 401ks and people retirement planned and this new digital real estate revolution. I mean, there's so much here, and there's so much we haven't figured out yet. I'm reminded of those interviews on the Today Show and David Letterman where they're like, what is this internet? Why would I want to listen to a baseball game on the internet when I could just listen to it on the radio? Like why are we ever going to use this space? And we had no idea the incredible, magnificent things that would come out of that space. It's the same thing here. I'm mostly buying cryptos and NFTs and metaverse spaces on the ideas of stuff I haven't even thought of yet. That's what really makes me the most excited. And with that is all of the content I have today. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Unless there's some things you want to me to talk about in the chat, I think you guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for showing up. You are my friends. You are my family. And I am your uncle. That's right. I am Fun Uncle. You can check me out every Sunday, 1 p.m. here on the LADZ City Network. Stay uncle, everybody.